All right, in 3, 2, I'm back. Thanks so much for joining us back here on the Buffalo Plus YouTube channel. Dan Fates here, up at One Bills Drive, covering Bills practice on Wednesday. After my 2-week paternity leave, I am back. Thanks so much for everybody that held down the fort. Mike and Jenna were just phenomenal. So I did see some comments where I was, what was I doing. I did keep up to date. So again, I appreciate it. Took 2 weeks off to spend time with the family. It was great. My daughter, 2 daughters now. Ryan Page, she is doing very well. Big sister Shane Marie is absolutely loving it. So I appreciate it. All the comments, all the nice messages, the tweets. I do appreciate it. I was following along to the obviously Buffalo Plus. Mike, Jenna did a great job. Before we get going and continue on, as I pick up my coverage here from Buffalo, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. We know you're watching the channel. We really appreciate it. Now you got to do me a favor. Please do it for the kids. How about that? Do it for my 2 daughters. Smash the subscribe button. We really appreciate it. We're approaching 25,000 subscribers, and it really means a lot to us. Up here at practice today, just wanted to recap it. Some 5 takeaways that we've kind of been doing following this along. The one big takeaway is the starters are playing. Yeah, Josh Allen will play on Saturday in Pittsburgh against the Steelers. Sean McDermott saying that starters are expected to play around a quarter and a half. So that means Stephon Diggs, Gabe Davis, all those guys are expected to be on the field. What do I think about that? I wish I could bubble wrap Josh Allen and kind of send him down to New York. I think that he's fine. I think the offense, I don't have too many concerns about that. But Sean McDermott talked about how they want to get this dress rehearsal. And he was asked about the fact, though, that Saturday's game is still going to be 3 weeks away from the September 11th Week 1 matchup on Monday night against the Jets. But Sean doesn't say that you don't forget things, other things like that, but he wants to get that dress rehearsal. Kind of compared it to that the military, and they also do dress rehearsals. They don't just go out there and try and do things from scratch day one. So I thought.
No, I mean it's like anything else. You want to get them ready, and as much dress rehearsals as you can put them in to make sure that they're ready to go. I think that's what you do, and it's what we feel like is the right thing for the team this year and where we're at. And you look at, it's no different. You look at the military and what they do. They don't just throw the guys out there, right? So I'm not saying this is what they do in terms of the military, but they're the best of the best in what they do, and they have dress rehearsals also. So that's what we do.
So I thought that was an interesting dynamic of what Sean was kind of talking about and wanting to make sure that these guys got some reps. Going back to when there wasn't a preseason, he's kind of gone back and forth. Last year, I think they played in Green Bay. It was just a drive. So getting some reps for Josh and the guys. Comment in what you think. I think I do have some issues with the offensive line at times, but I would like to see Josh just bubble wrapped and sent down to the Meadowlands to be ready for Monday night. But I think we'll see him for, my guess would be 3 drives. I think there are a couple of pieces that you want to see him get used to, whether it's Deontay Hardy, whether it's Khalil Shakir's new role, Trent Sherfield, guys like that. I think there is some good at getting that too. And I think, honestly, Josh wants to play as well. I think you want to get your feet wet a little bit. So I'm okay with the decision. The other big thing that was kind of a surprise was the fact that Sean McDermott was asked about the middle linebacker position, and he was pretty candid about it. Says it needs to be better. There's room for improvement. And he talked about it from start to finish, about getting the plays in, directing the defense, being in charge of all of those things. That he didn't seem happy. And to me, that seems like a shot at Terrell Dodson and where that is. Dodson has been involved in some heated scuffles, scrums here at Bills training camp this season. He has been. Sean was asked about that. It says you like the intensity. Like, you're not going to try and take that away from somebody. But I don't know if Sean wants to see maybe something a little bit more reserved, a little bit more polished. We are seeing more reps for A.J. Klein with the number ones. As this week has progressed, Klein got some reps today, physical reps. They weren't wearing pads, obviously, so they're getting ready for the game. But I started to see some of that I really liked. So A.J. Klein, veteran. He's been in huddles. He's called plays. He seems to be catching Terrell Dodson in that range. I think it's a 2-horse race at this point. Obviously, Terrell Bernard is still recovering from a hamstring injury. He was off riding the bike off to the side. So those seem to be the 2 guys. It's going to come down to Dodson or Klein as to who gets that job at starting middle linebacker. And again, there is something left to be desired in Sean McDermott's eyes. So that is something to keep an eye on, especially heading in to Pittsburgh on Saturday night. One thing to wrap up again from practice today, Josh Allen had one of the most, I wouldn't say most incredible throws, but it is just a classic Josh Allen throw that every time, it doesn't matter how many times he does it, it's just one of those throws that makes your jaw drop. And today it was a play, 11 on 11, Josh rolling right, pretty much sprinting laterally to his right along the line of scrimmage, throwing across his body, outside the numbers, a perfect ball to Deontay Hardy, who had beaten Trey White, and Jordan Poyer thought there was absolutely no way that you could almost throw it. Joe Biscaglia of The Athletic kind of joked that it almost looked like Josh threw it almost underhand. That was the angle at which Josh threw across his body and put it on a dime. I'm sure the Bills have it. They will tweet it out. Unbelievable throw where I audibly said, wow. That when he threw it, it was almost that thought of like, where is he throwing this ball? And it lands perfectly on a dime into Deontay Hardy's arms. So that is one of the things that stood out to me at practice today. It appears that Dane Jackson is getting closer and closer to securing that CB2 spot. He pretty much got most of the reps at the second corner position. Christian Benford and Kyrie Elam were both working in with the second team. Also very impressive, a couple of reps from Benford, got beat by Stephon Diggs on a play, but then had the closing speed to catch up to Diggs and knock the ball away on a deep ball from Josh. So Diggs actually slapped him up after the play because it was just an impressive play. Pretty mellow practice for the most part too. Not a ton else going on here as the team's getting ready, but there was a sense of sloppiness I'd sense from this practice, especially offensively. But again, not the most intense practice that we have seen. A little bit of jawing back and forth, but for the most part, nothing too big. The last thing I want to talk about is two guys that spoke at the podium today, one being Latavius Murray, who is just a mountain of a human being. Kind of joked with Sean McDermott before, asking him, what stands out to you? And he talked about his professionalism, the way that he prepares, all of those things. He's been in the league for 9 years, all of those things being so great. And then I kind of said, like, he doesn't look like he's standing in the right position group. And he kind of laughed. He said he was talking about it, was looking at Murray at a walkthrough yesterday, and just said, I wouldn't want to tackle him. And I asked Murray that, and he said, I hope Sean shouldn't want to tackle me. So I thought that was kind of funny. Murray's a big physical guy, but where the stigma is for short, quick little guys, they have to be the scat backs. They try to break that role that they can do everything. Murray's the same way. Look, he's 6'3". He's used to towering over every running back in his room, but he said he's trying to break the stigma of that he can do it all, that he has enough speed and that it's deceptively fast because of it, because of his size, and likes to get one cut and get downhill. So all of those things I thought was very interesting, the fact of the dynamic of Murray. And the other one, too, is obviously seems to be the training camp darling over the last few days, is Andy Isabella. I'm not saying that Andy Isabella can't find a role on this team and may not develop into one, or that he hasn't been playing well. That's not what I'm trying to say. All I'm trying to say is let's pump the brakes a hair on where he fits into this offense. I understand the speed. I understand he was a second-round pick. Sean McDermott had glowing remarks of him coming out of his Senior Bowl, which was 4 years ago, but this guy's been in the NFL for 4 years. He has 33 catches on 2 teams in 4 years. I'm not going to talk down upon a player. All I'm saying is tempering expectations for what I think Andy Isabella could be, because I still believe that he is behind Deontay Hardy and Khalil Shakir for the slot receiver role. So I think he's third. I think they'd like to have him on the practice squad. I think he does provide speed, but let's not start talking about Cole Beasley-esque here for a guy that has been 4 years in the league. Let's just temper some expectations. Yeah, so we all remember there are training camp darlings, and I'm not trying to rain on anybody's parade, but I'm just trying to temper expectations. We all remember Christian Wade, Brandon Riley, Duke Williams, some of these other guys that flashed, that we all kind of got a guy to cheer for, to root for, and we all kind of know how those ended up. So that's all I will say about the Isabella hype train that seems to be rolling through Buffalo. Hopefully he has a role in this team. I think he has a select role, but I think it's behind a few other guys. Okay, so I'm back. We will have complete coverage. We'll have a podcast coming up soon. Mike, Jenna, the whole gang, we're back together. I'm still playing dad, still not sleeping a ton, running on coffee and adrenaline, but wanted to come back and provide my my insight and what I've known. I was itching to come back. Love family time, all those things, but it's nice to get back here on Buffalo Plus as we continue to grow. So again, smash the subscribe button. Don't just click it. Smash it, please. Smash it. No, not. Yeah, you. I appreciate it. Comment in with what you think about the starters playing. Do you like it? Do you not like it? Are you indifferent with it? Obviously, I think the goal for this one will be just get out of Pittsburgh in one piece. Just don't get hurt. It is health over everything, and that will be the goal for Saturday. We'll have coverage leading up to Saturday, and then we'll have instant reactions after the game on Saturday as well. So be sure, again, like, comment, subscribe to the Buffalo Plus channel on YouTube. For Dan Fates, thanks for watching. We'll catch you next time on the Buffalo Plus YouTube channel.